Are you ever enjoying a nice cup of coffee in the morning and browsing the internet and just see a product online and think to yourself, man, I think I can build this myself for way cheaper? Well, I did that today with the Airbreak putting mat. So I immediately threw on the old tennis shoes and got ready to hit the road. All right, next up, we're heading to my favorite store to get started. All right, the first thing we're going to need right here is this 3M Super Strength adhesive. If you're doing this project with me, then you're going to want to stop and get some actual artificial turf cut at Home Depot to your exact size. I am skipping this step as I have a different solution at home. And finally, the other thing I need is this 4x8 sheet of Owens Corning foam insulation. You'll see later. I don't know if you could tell, but the wind absolutely worked me and it broke it, but it'll be okay. Like any Home Depot run, it's never easy and it never goes as planned. But I got my spray adhesive and I got my 1-inch foam. You can see it split due to the wind, like I said. But now let's get the next piece of the puzzle. And that is this 3x10 birdie ball putting mat. So let me roll this thing out for you. So like I said, 3x10. And our foam board comes in at a 4x8 sheet. So I'm about to cut a foot off the side of the foam boards and 2 foot off the length of the putting mat. It also includes a flag and a little hole insert. So I will be including that into this system. All right, hopefully you're not an idiot like me and pick the windiest day of the year to do this. So ignore the duct tape where it's split in half. I did a little surgical repair off camera just to get it back in one piece. And now I'm gonna mark a little line 36 inches down the center of this to kind of mark where I'm going to have to cut it. So I just take my tape measure, 36 inches, and then I'm going to use my little blue Sharpie here, mark 36 inches, and I'll go all the way down the line, and I'll see you in the next step. My next step is using a straight edge to draw this line all the way down. So I have my marks. So I'm going to connect the 2 marks. I'm going to use the longest straight edge that I have, which is this 2x4 here. It's not super long, but I see my 2 marks. I line it up, and then I'm just going to take my Sharpie and go straight down this edge. And we're going to repeat that step all the way down. Next, I'm going to try this utility blade to cut it all the way through. I have my line marked. I'm just going to follow the line. I'm just going to freehand it, score it, and then hopefully I can just break it the rest of the way. That's the approach, so we're going to try that. So we see our line. All right, we're just going to try to snap it off. And it does pretty good. Might have to get off of it. Hope I'm in frame, but I'm just using the pressure of it to snap it. I'm gonna have to We're gonna have to trim it off a little bit, but that took most of it off. Still got to cut some off down here, but you get the premise of it. All right, next step for me, since I'm using this birdie mat, I put in a couple little toothpicks to line it up exactly where I want it so it cannot move. And so now we got to mark what we need to cut off the excess of this birdie mat. Our next step is going to be to flip this guy over without trying to move it too much. Okay. And then we can see exactly where we need a mark to cut off. So I'm going to take my Sharpie and I'm going to follow exactly this line. So I can cut it off there. And we're going to do the same thing down here. You probably can't see me, but we're going to repeat the same process down here. Let's take the utility blade. I got it propped up so I don't cut my wife's rug. Make sure you do that. And we're just going to do the same process. Just scoring this putting mat all the way down. And so you have a clean cut. And we'll keep it locked in and we'll move to the other side. Hold on to this. I'm going to use this in a later step. All right, now that we got it where we want it, I got some stuff to weigh it down so it doesn't move as I move down, but I'm going to take this super strength 3M adhesive. I'm going to spray it a heavy coating all the way on the foam and on the thing as I go down the line so it doesn't move. All right, let's get started. I'm going to start with this end, giving it a heavy dosage. It's really sticky, so just be careful. But we want to make sure we get it started on line. And I'm going to put my toothpicks back in just to make sure, just to help it not move. It's actually really sticky. So should be perfect. But I wanted to get it started good, and I'm going to put some heavy books on this end just to keep it in place as we go down the line. So probably fast forward this, but this is the process. Before this sets up and really dries, I got to get this in there. Get my cup in so it doesn't move. Put a little extra spray around the cup just to make sure that everything doesn't move. And we're going to go all the way around the sides and just double check, make sure everything is where we want it. Threw some heavy books on there just to weigh it down and let that adhesive take over. All right, we're using everything for this project. So this little strap piece I'm going to use so I can have a place where I can stand. So what we're going to do is spray, same thing, spray our spray adhesive all on the foam piece. Spray it also on our birdie mat. Getting a good good amount of adhesive on there because I'm going to be standing on this most of the time. And it ain't got to be perfect because I can cut the excess off. But now we have a hitting or a strip that I can stand on while I putt. Perfect. This is our DIY putting mat. Let's see if we can make a putt with the DIY putting mat. All right, come on. It's hanging. And she's in there. Well, that's it, folks. Wait, I thought I said this was going to be an Airbreak putting mat where you can change the elevation. Let's do that. I promise this is an Airbreak putting mat. In order to do that, I bought these air wedges off Amazon. They were $12 for 4, so I bought a 2-pack. I'm going to do them every 2 feet apart on this putting strip. So let's get going on that. Now I'm going to pump them all up for you. I'm going to first generate a right to left putt. So we're going to do 5 or 6 on each one. You notice it's getting higher on one side. Okay. Now we have that. No pump on this side, only pump on that side. We're going to generate a 6-footer. I don't have my mat right now, but it should break right to left. And there you go. You can see it. So now you can practice whatever direction of break you want. As someone who does aim point, I use this little slope device to kind of generate how far out I need to aim. So right now we have it at a 2. Let's try to bump it up and get it to a 3. So I'm going to use this little thing. I'm going to do 3 pumps on each one. Let's see what that's reading now. Oh, it's reading a 3.6. So that's a pretty big break. So now I'm going to set you back up. I'm going to try to make this putt again. All right, I got my mat back out. I don't know how good this is going to look on frame, but 3 is going to be, we're going to be aiming out here, right over here on this side. It's about a foot out to the right. This is pretty aggressive slope. So let's see if we can hit it. And we just snuck it in there, folks. Y'all, this is awesome. I'm going to be practicing so much with this. You have it, folks. That is my DIY putting mat to mimic the PuttOut Airbreak putting mat, which retails for $379. You can see it behind me. What do you guys think? You think I nailed it? In order to answer that question for myself, I really got to price it out and see if we achieved what we did for half the price or better. So let's go. I got the receipt here. Let's start at Home Depot, my favorite place. And we started with the 3M spray adhesive. I still have 3/4 of this. So I'll be able to use this for other projects, but $13. I'm going to put a running total at the bottom here. And next we have the Owens Corning 1-inch 4-foot by 8-foot sheet of foam insulation, guys. This ran me at $32, and it handled everything that I needed. I only needed 1 sheet because my mat was going to be a 3-foot by 8-foot design. So it's perfectly fitting for what I need. And that was $32, bringing our total to $48. All right, this next section is the actual putting surface. And guys, this is very subjective. Like I mentioned earlier, you can get a roll of artificial turf from at Home Depot for around $25. You can get a custom where they cut it out for you perfect. You don't even have to do anything, but that's by the square feet. So let's say $20 to $30 there. I went a little premium. I had the Birdie Ball putting mat. I bought this used off Facebook Market last year for around $70. So that brings my total to around, let's say, $120, $130. I went with a little premium here. You can buy this actual same putting mat online for around $200, which you still would be cheaper than the Airbreak. But, I would try to source this locally if you can. And I would use that artificial turf from Home Depot just to save a buck there. It'll get you the job done. I just wanted a little premium product here. So that's really all I had. Oh, the last thing, sorry. Amazon air wedges. These came in a 4-pack for $12. I had to buy 2 of them because I had, put it on both sides of the 8-foot sections. So $24. So that gets me right around $150 to create this Airbreak putting mat. And it retails for $370, but after taxes, probably around $400. So $150 versus $400. I think I won there. And I'm really happy with it. I think it's going to do everything I needed it to do. Let me know if you have any questions. Comment if you like the build. What do you think about it? Any negatives? I'll take negative comments. But I really think I nailed it for what it is. Is it as premium as the Airbreak PuttOut mat is? No. I mean, they have a built-in base. It can fold up, etc., etc. But this gets the job done for what I need. I was able to do it myself and save a buck. So anytime I can do that, I'm going to try to, because golf is already an expensive hobby as it is, and I want to be able to practice at home and get dialed in as we head to Myrtle Beach. So make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. It really does help the channel grow, and we'll see you in the next episode.